Welcome to another Quantum Conversation. I'm Loren Gailey, and I invite you to sit back as we enter the quantum realm, that space of the greater part of you. It is your connection to infinite possibilities, infinite potential, and infinite mastery. We have another episode in this Quantum Conversation Summit Series, Timelines, Creating the Highest Benevolent Outcomes. And today we're actually talking about stillness as the path to ascension. Nora WalksinSpirit is a diamond light code transmitter to the multi-dimensions of the crystal grid systems. We are going to connect to that today and actually experience a dimensional shift, dimensional grid shift. It's really quite exquisite. Nora, thank you so much for being here. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me, and welcome, welcome, welcome to everyone joining us today. It'll be very, very igniting and enlightening here, that's for sure. My voice is a bit shaky because the energies are really buzzing high all of a sudden. So I'm just getting equipped with this higher frequency already. Yeah.
You know, we can totally feel it. I've got goosebumps all over. And so for our audience, I just want to share that if you are not familiar with Nora's work or teachings, get ready for high vibe crystalline light and experiences. I want to just share that we spoke on the phone in preparation for our show today. And in 30 seconds, this dimensional shift that I experienced was so extraordinary. It was like, it makes me want to cry just thinking of it again. And here's the topic of our theme, stillness. It really does come from stillness. And so many of us have been told to slow down or just be more present in everything that we do. So when we're talking about timelines, this gets very interesting because eventually there will be no timelines because we will be so present that this is where we are at. So Nora, as we start today, what is your definition of timelines and how are you helping your clients work through their own timelines, collapse timelines, get onto a higher timeline? What's that like for you and what's your definition of what's going on?
Yeah, it's kind of a fun ride, I guess you say. It's almost like a spiral of curvatures, of spirals that I see. So like when you were just saying that the timelines will soon be obsolete and will just be in oneness is what it is. There'll be zero timelines. So for me, the timelines that move all of our soul lifetimes, our past lives, our soul monads, and our different dimensions of where we've been. Those are where we are tapping into right now in the multi dimensions. And so when I look at the energies of the soul in a person, it's like a grid system of a mapping. My guide wants to explain the question, answer your question from a higher perspective. It should, I don't know, when you are in the void, beyond the beyond, there is no time. There is no thing. No. There is only systems of equations of consciousness. That elaborately weave into the grid systems on the universes, on the other dimensions, and into all planets. And therefore, your grid systems of ley lines and vortices on your planet do carry lines of lineages of time. Your body don't know. The crystals in your body house a relationship to those grid systems of time. And so when we are looking at the inner perspective of who you are in your humanness of a soul being, there are grid systems in this no space of no time that have equations of your essence, of consciousness, of who you are. Yeah, what do you did should know? Gotta yada do you? Yes, you do have a consciousness grid system of your lineages, of your ancestors, of time. That is your soul vibration of consciousness. But when we look at the energies in the ethers of the grid systems of time, it is simply a reoccurring essence of consciousness that is returning into the crystals on the planet that do vibrate their consciousness into your soul consciousness. This is the elaborate essence of understanding how the equations of our intelligence oscillate in the realms and are now transmitting the energies of intelligence onto your planetary consciousness in what you would say is your timeline. We do not have timelines. We have grid systems of equations of consciousness. Mhm.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. That expands us infinitely as we understand that and integrate those words.
It's a,
Wow.
it's a very broad perspective, so that when I'm in these dimensions of infinite realities, it is not that I'm seeing Akashic record rooms or timelines of your soul, past lives, and that sort of energy is more on the planetary consciousness grid systems where your footprints and your ancestors continually reliving, reoccurring. But as the crystals in your body and the crystals in your pineal mind and energies of who you are become crystallized, then you're going to be soaring into the higher consciousness states, not the dense human state. So you're collaborating in these telepathic consciousness grids of your higher intelligences. This is how you will be ascending and assisting in the ascension of the planet by lifting your consciousness, activating the crystals to tap into the crystal grids and crystal equations there's in the ethers around you. So that when I'm bringing in the stillness beside you, as you probably feel right now, a little bit of tingling and a different vibration or intense vibration on around the ears, is because these higher equations of a higher consciousness grid that we can't see from our third dimensional minds or eyes, it's already in waveforms surrounding us. It's like waveforms, like you just move it with your hands. Um, and so the way that they showed it to me, um, they showed a vision of myself standing in the ocean, and I was like up to my waist per se, and the waves of the water come lapping up to you and around you, and your body's getting used to below the waist. You're getting used to the temperature of the water, but you just put your hands on the water and you just become a part of the wave of the water moving around you as another wave comes in. You become the ocean, you become the wave, you become the energetic field, you become the consciousness of the ocean. And it's that essence of that consciousness that just moves around you, that your body, your mind is accepting and adapting, and you just become oneness of it. It's the only way I can express it, as if you're going, then you dive under the water and sit on the bottom of the water on the sand. You're in oneness. You don't hear anything going on around you outside on the beach, but your ears become a bit plugged. You hear a different vibration of the people talking out on the beach, but you're in a different altered wave energy inside. But your mind and your heart and everything is completely quiet and still, and you're in a different zone. And it's you're not really thinking of anything other than just holding your breath for that moment, but you're also in this comforting state because you like the feel of the water and the energy. Now, when you stand up again. Now you're in the warm sun and the energy. It's the same energy that you can look at when you go into the stillness, and I have you close your eyes. What if the ocean of the ethers is no different than when you're underneath inside the water of the ocean, of that element of the ocean? Rather, we are in an ocean of the ethers of the air. This your frequencies in your ears will change when your mind adapts to this higher fifth, eighth, 10th, 12th dimension that's coming in. You have your mind adapt to this higher consciousness state. You're only hearing what's around here when we have the stillness. Even if the neighbor's dog is barking over the road, you're still hearing this energetic essence, no different than if you were under the water. You could still hear the people on the beach laughing, but you weren't a part of it. You're in this energetic body of the ocean. Now, here, we're in this energetic body of the air and the ethers of the universe of the fifth dimension. You can't see the plasma frequencies. You can't, but you can feel it. You can touch it, just like I patted my hand on the water. Well, I can touch and feel the static magnetic, because we have electromagnetic frequencies here now. And so you're climatizing your mind to this ocean of the ethers around us, and you're allowing it to synchronize into your fingertips, and you're breathing it in, and it's your new garment of your new aura body, which we're saying is a quantum matrix grid. And this is where you're bringing all that you got, the unknown, the unseen ones, the higher ones. They're attracted to your new vibrational field. So when we start building this essence of a higher vibration of oneness that we're not looking to see, we're not asking the mind to critique it. We're just asking the mind to be still and to breathe it in, that you can just float and relax, just like now you're floating on the water and you're back. You're just becoming one with that ocean. You're letting go of, like, how am I floating and what does the water feel like? You're not doing that. You're just in that state of, this is so nice. This is so peaceful. And I just need to just float. This way, when you're just sitting here or sitting at home, laying on your bed or your couch, you're just bringing it in and becoming it. There it is. It's engulfing me now. It's engulfing you. And you're breathing it in. You're relaxing the shoulders and you're accessing more. So a lot of times I have my eyes closed and I just say in a whisper, pour more, pour more. I receive all that you have for me. Activate all the crystals in me. Purify all the timelines of my soul essence that has been tangled and confused to be released and healed in this essence of this higher consciousness. A deep breath in, hold, slow breath out. And just feel the essence of the stillness around you, the energy in the room around you. And just become aware of how warm your feet are and how anchored they are. That you have engulfed this essence of a higher, unseen vibration of light, of love, of warm golden energies. And listen to the frequency. That is your frequency. That is your higher consciousness. Its tone, its vibration. We're just going to ask it to come a little bit closer. And feel where it came in closer to you. It's your higher soul essence. Breathe it in. Breathe it throughout every cell of your being. And now open your eyes and come back into the room. And for me, even just doing that for that few minutes, my ears are plugged, like as if I was underwater. As I went into that very high ethers of the void. I just let go and go into that void of beyond. And you can feel sometimes a little bit of heavier energy on top of the head. You don't want to have any pain because that would be resistance. That would be the mind trying to analyze things. So you don't want to do that. You just want to just breathe in and just allow it to flow through you. It's quite a different experience. And when you do it just for 3 or 4 minutes, even if you're just standing at the sink putting dishes away or such, you can just tap into it. And the more that you do this, you're building a grid system around you of a very high frequency. It's a very high consciousness, so that when you go outside again, just for the walk in the woods per se, if you just stop for a second on that pathway, because you have this new higher essence of an infinite intelligent consciousness around you, you'll be surprised at how you will just float through that pathway of where you're walking in the forest or on a journey somewheres, because the plant kingdom, the winged, the creepers, the crawlers, the four-legged, they're all much more advanced than us two-legged because they have no ego, they have no judgment. They're just allowing this electromagnetic pulse of the plasma frequencies of the higher intelligence is just like a raining on them, that they are already in that higher frequency. So when we come walking into the woods or walking down a path, and we sit on a bench, the leaves will literally lean over, or the bird will really chirp at a higher vibration because it's in your same field. You're carrying this magnetic vibration of a higher intelligence as your new infinite reality around you, and they're amplified by you, and you're amplified by them. Now the oneness of connection and communication begins for you, and you will start feeling lighter. Like literally the the tightness on the body or the chest heaviness or unwondering heavy worries or such on the lower back, it literally dissipates because it just can't stay. This dense body can't stay like that when you're engulfed by the whole forest of the or the whole ocean that you're swimming in. It's a yeah, what in restructuring, child. Yeah, you don't know, energetic bodies become restructured, re-vibrated into a heightened equation. Our etheric equations become amplified into their quantum equations around the body. The linear mind spirals into the curvature of our harmonic vibrational mindsets that is on the four-legged, the winged, the creepers, the crawlers. Then the adjustments are done on a subtle waveform of creation consciousness. You know what it is, you don't know. You are not working at this. You are not thinking, how does this happen? How do I sustain this frequency? You don't know. You are not having any problems with adapting to this. You don't know. Just as you only took a few minutes to adjust to the temperature of the ocean waves and the water. You become adjusted in your minds, in your hearts, in your bodies of these etheric waveforms of the higher consciousness. And when you sit with the four-legged, sing with the winged, all becomes amplified on a more rapid movement, yet still very subtle. For the brainwave pattern, the heart rate, move into the harmonics of new equations of light intelligence. This is how the Atlanteans, Lemurians, Pleiadians communicated unto one another through waveforms of grid systems of energetics. Called telepathic. You will be able to communicate, and the entire planet will be moving into a higher vibration of synchronicities to reality when this comes forward. We will wait. We have waited thousands of years. We will wait, or will only be another few years, not 2030, child. No, 2028 is more reasonable to have all accessing in this oneness consciousness of our electromagnetic telepathic communication networks. Mhm. And so this why they ask me to bring in the vibration and the sequences of these equations through the stillness by introducing the mind and the soul body into the stillness, gently, subtly allows your personality, your beingness state to come to understand and greet this unknown, unseen frequency that's here waiting to bow down before you and say, come through here, come, let's go, come. And you go into the journey state more rapidly, without reservation, no fear, no unknown state of, I don't trust if this is the right person or the right place to go. And none of that uh, comes through because you're in the no thinking, no judging, no worry, no fear. You're in no thing. No thing is in bothering you. It's this a state of just allowing, trusting, and being. We talk about allowing, trusting, and being, but the heart and the soul and the mind has this program running. It says, oh, just hold on a second. I better figure this one out. It doesn't happen when you become engulfed in the stillness of the reality that these are grid systems. Well, how would they show that to me? When you look into the skies, child, and you see the star constellations, you cannot see the lines of the grid systems of networks of communications. You cannot see the crystals of intelligences within each star that is communicating to telepathically network to the next constellation. You cannot see that. And they cannot see that. But the reality is, it is connecting and communicating, and it is lighting up your sky. How about you light up your grid system and become illuminations of waveforms of light particles that others cannot see, but would behold that this is a light essence of illuminations of spectrums of light frequencies around this child. Well, now you have created a light body being, not of this dense body. No, the light body is around you and it is luminous to your telepathic equations. You always walking in harmonics of a spirit of light, yet operating in a human form in a spirit of who you are, of this soul lifetime. Lifetime, not timeline, lifetime. Correct. He said, I leave. He is walking away now. So sometimes the master just comes in and brings me from one question that Nora's little child asks, it becomes a whole template of knowledge of all sorts of things that really expands what is stillness, what is equations, what is oscillations of light particles, and what is interfering? Well, it's the mind that's interfering. But we don't have to worry about the mind anymore because our body is going to be listening and feeling what's tapping on, what's feeling here, what's on here. And that's where these masters are so brilliant. Because they try and what do you say? Distract the mind. Just like you do with a baby that's crying, you kind of, oh, what's over here? You know, it's the same when they bring in a higher consciousness thought form or essence, and then the mind goes over there and stops worrying. It's
That's
fast.
where we're at. That's what we feel like right now.
Yeah.
You have taken us, thank you for that beautiful master facilitating that. Even in my awareness of the physicality, I felt the buzzing on the back of my head. I felt the crown very activated. Then there were waves of heat and coolness. There's nothing to worry about.
Yeah, but you have a lot of adjustments that were taking place without knowing where in the body right now. But there has been a lot of adjustments that everyone would have had removed and released because these are um, energies of a consciousness that are extremely fast, rapid, rapid, rapid. Like it's like you can't even see how quick the little sparkle comes in and adjusts something and leaves again. But it needed your body to be still and your mind not to interrupt in
Yeah.
order to adjust you.
Wow. We have been adjusted. An etheric chiropractic acupuncture session. Wow. Okay. Oh my goodness, this feels, like I said, exquisite. That
You can still hear that different frequency, right?
absolutely. The mind is so, it's almost like a deep meditation. There's no need for many words here, and yet we're doing a show. So I love this experience because this is what we're all moving towards. And I love how we're going to get better at this. 2028. Wow. That's, we're not waiting for any date, but when we think about this within our presence, within our grid system and the collective and the constellations communicating, sharing energy in that way, that oneness, it just lets us become more aware of what's going on and how we can integrate all of it and
Yeah,
be with it.
yeah. And it's almost like a an elaborate weaving of threads of light particles. That's how they show it to me. Um, it's the sewing in. That's why they gave me the word weaving. Okay, thank you. So it's the sewing in. So they're sewing in new threads of light intelligent equations into our minds. This is how we move from the linear mind into the superconscious mind, into the super telepathic mind, into the super teleportation body mind. It's because we're allowing these threads of these light equations of intelligences to adjust us. A lot of times it's done when we're sleeping at night. That you don't have to do this waiting for a full activation. I like to do the activations like we just did there to get you into that understanding of the stillness. But you can get an activation and threads of these light intelligence sewing into your mind, into your heart, into the crystals of the chakras just in 1 minute of sitting in the woods or sitting on the beach. Because
Mm.
they know that you're giving them permission. Yeah. And it's just a whole way of looking at the trees, looking at the winged and the four-legged. You just know, wow, you guys are being adjusted. I got to catch up to you. That's how I look at it. Yeah.
Yes, and that third density mind is gone.
Oh,
These
they're
frequencies.
mastery. They're in mastery.
Yeah, okay. Wow. Well, this is really exquisite.
Yeah. The adjustments that take place in this transition, because it is a big transition for the thought forms and taking on other people's thought forms and wondering, how, like, why am I thinking like this, or why am I feeling like this? These are the transitioning state. And so one thing I do know that from many of the students that work with me, that when you start moving into this higher state of consciousness, of tapping into and building this higher network of a higher magnetic grid system, there is a lot of exposing or releasing of the lower energies in your body, which would be your timelines, which would be hidden selves and shadow selves, that you still have wounded selves of your childhood from this lifetime, perhaps, that you will still be attracting other people of the same like-minded, intelligent. So whether that is someone that is sad or in need of healing, or their body's of a low frequency because they're just not having a good day, that's going to come into your energetic field because you're releasing it as you're elevating. But the bonus about this is that as you're as you're taking on this higher frequency and evolving like you just did right now, it's lifting out and pulling up and exposing those lower consciousness thought forms or hidden selves that didn't want to, that just kept wanting to rerun the program over and over again. They still wanted to stay there and be sad about something or reminisce about something. It can't linger anymore because this higher consciousness will not hold on to your body. So it pulls it up, it clears it, it dissipates it. Now you automatically become infused of the higher light intelligence. So you're not thinking like that. You will still be attracting in that, maybe in that one day or two where perhaps you have a wounded timeline or wounded self that's really playing up a program in reality here. So you will attract people of the same nature. So this why you might have someone that you can. A prime example I always watch is, typically if you go into a restaurant and you're sitting down and the waiter or waitress that comes to you is either really, really happy or really, really tired. They're the same consciousness as what you're emitting. So like attracts like. So if you're having a low day, then the waitresses are over there. The one that has a lower frequency will come over and ends up serving you. But if you're in a vibrant, luminous state, you'll get the giggly, bubbly one that comes out from the counter and says, "Hi, want to know what our specials are?" And really, really vibrant. Now,
Mm.
if you're having that low essence day, low energy day, maybe it's because of the heavy, heavy duty solar eclipse that just happened, or, a very full moon, a very, very high, very, very high vibrant energies, the spectrums of the electromagnetics come in, and that you wake up and you're just really adjusting and feel very heavy, not because of heavy timelines, just because a lot of timelines are surfaced, but you're also in a transition of letting go and bringing on in a higher consciousness thread that you may not want to have those lower consciousness family, friends, people at work nearby. So you're going to be just sitting very still in that morning before you're going to work, and just close the eyes, bring in the stillness, and then ask, "Come closer. I need you to come closer. I need 12 rings of the highest fire frequency to spin around me in a counter rotation. Clearing off all the debris, all the remnants, all the laggards of my own lowering timelines and any other lowering timelines or essences of others' energetic bodies to move into the rings of fire so that they may be healed also when they are near me. But the other shadow kodana, and let it be a vortex of light, of protection at all times. Ishadadana, so that I may sustain my connection to my higher consciousness and to continually receive the light equations into my body, onto my body, and around my body. And you just take a deep breath in, slow breath out, and you're sitting very straight on the edge of the bed, perhaps, and your spine is very straight. And you just visualize that you're standing or sitting all day, wherever you go, you're inside a slinky, like those rings, slinky toy. You're inside that, and there's 12 rings of fire spinning in the counter rotation around you. And they're really, really high or really, really short. They can go as tall or as shallow as you want, and they're there until you go to bed at night. Now, if you're sitting on the internet working, or you're working on or driving on a highway, or you're working in a field with a lot of people, you are in the highest vibration of protection. They asked me to use the fire, the frequency of the fire, to transmute and to burn away anything that's coming out of me, of my hidden selves, shadow selves, and to replenish my body with the fire of light, fire of love frequency. This is the victory fire flame. And the fire around me is so that anyone coming towards me that is of a lowering vibration or maybe angry or carrying, animosities as such, this fire frequency going around is going to ward them off. They will be detoured away because they will feel that refining fire is not for them. So it's kind of like an invisible frequency of a shield of protection, but it's also a shield of emanations for yourself and building yourself into a higher state, not coming home from the grocery store and going, oh my God, I have to lie down. I'm so drained. No, this is not happening now because we want to be able to sustain our higher consciousness mind and sustain the chakras to continually to spin into the higher vibrations so that by 2028 or earlier, they're spinning in the counter rotation also, not clockwise, like creator consciousness. There's something coming because my voice is changing, if that's okay. And amaniato away at this and aniatuko something here. Amaniato no. These equations of the fire frequencies of the highest sun, golden sun gods, golden essences will be elaborately weaving in heightened consciousness threads on this summer solstice. Yirowada. There will be heightened pyramidal equations on summer solstice that is arriving, and therefore you will need the fire vibrational rings of light and light intelligences to equip you, to balance you, and to sustain the highest victory fire light frequency inside your minds, inside the crystals of your body in preparation for summer solstice. It will be igniting those who have been awakened to be in higher states of awareness by solstice. I leave. Yeah. So there's a reason why I was on today for the stillness too, right? To bring in the fire, the vibrations, to equip everyone. Mhm.
Wow. Thank you. This, again, that word exquisite, these frequencies are our frequencies. If we integrate these frequencies, there's a question that my mind comes up with about letting go of, as we're doing this, as we're holding this new grid of intelligence in our field, it makes me question those around us. Could we influence our loved ones, family members, friends in this vibration by holding, by integrating this frequency? Sure, that light of protection will keep us from being drained by lesser energies, denser energies. But could this light help our loved ones integrate it and actually build it themselves?
Yeah, it's very subtle. It's a very high intelligent dimension. And so it's very, very subtle um, how it threads and weaves through the cellular body and adjusts your heart, adjusts your mind, adjusts your body, or if you have, lower um, frequencies happening, but it's emanating the higher consciousness into you that is illuminating an energy field around you of their love and light of healing you. And so this why I have people sometimes come up and they want to touch me
Mm.
because there's this emanation of these masters love, light, and healing going on inside of me and enveloping me. And so, where there's a married couple sleeping side by each, the one is elevating in their sleep pattern and journeying in a very high state. Well, they're also illuminating these master frequencies that is illuminating across their partner, across the room, across the hallway. And so their essence is not something that we are doing. It's what is emanating and building in this luminous grid system around us. So that's why I was saying like attracts like. If I'm sitting in the restaurant, my energy field is of this purest love, light, illumination. It's going to attract the one that wants to be in that state of consciousness. So someone that is in grumpy, I'm not into that. I'm not interested in what you're talking about or what you do. Um, they're not going to be in, they have a judgmental frequency, but while they're beside me, they're what is this? They're going to feel this essence of this eminent energy that's going to be purifying, washing, and very subtly healing that waveform of consciousness that's holding them back. So I guess what I'm saying is that we don't do anything. We just receive, and we know within ourselves that this refining fire rings around me is healing everyone around me. It's clearing their energetic minds and helping the wounded ones to become more in awareness of who they are. Because we want to wake them up to who they are, not what they're living in, right? That's the goal for me, anyways.
Yeah. Yes, so beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for explaining that. So
So like
yeah.
when I do my sessions on people on the one-on-one sessions, a lot of times it will be that I'm I'm quiet inside because I'm seeing what the master's showing me what's going on inside. And again, it's the very high threads pulling out an adjustment in and out, in and out, in and out. It's like one comes out and one goes in. It's so fast, but I
Mhm.
know that the adjustment was done. And the people say, "Oh, well, my neck doesn't hurt. My headache's gone. The back of my back doesn't have that pinch anymore." But I didn't physically put my hands there or do this, you know, type of healing. It's energetically because the crystals in the body are so vibrant right now with the fifth dimension that we're in that these infinite masters can adjust the energies in the cellular consciousness, muscle consciousness a lot more quickly because we're in this dimension now. And there's an intelligence that's subtly accepting, not the mind, but the body is subtly accepting what you're breathing in of these higher frequencies and is ready to receive the healing. Yeah,
Hallelujah.
it happens really fast, and I don't know how other than it's beyond a medical intuitive when it takes place. Yeah, because
Mm.
it's these multi dimensions of grid systems that I'm telepathically networking and bringing in and transmitting. That's the only way I can explain it. Like you call me the diamond transmitter, right?
Wow, that explains. Wow, we are superhuman here.
We
We
are
are divine.
beyond computers, beyond computer bodies, beyond intelligence. Every cell in the body, every crystal in the body is waking up, and we are fascinating bodies of creation. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I am lit up. Actually, this feels wonderful. I truly hope everyone is feeling this. That was powerful. Just the transmission, that was a transmission, that was an activation, and we're feeling it. And so we're going to hold this, right? This is going to continue. Like I said, when we spoke on the phone, I went back into it early this morning and it was exquisite. And
Yes.
it's here. It's attainable in any moment. And we're building that. We're activating these crystals just by receiving. Wow, who else is feeling lit up right now? Amazing.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's absolutely exciting. I know some of my friends and students will just say it's just so exciting because it's here. It's right here. It's not, ethers away. It's right here and I can go right into it. I said, yeah, just like dive in. Dive into the portal. It's here.
Wow. Okay, I know people are going to want to work with you. You mentioned your personal sessions, and
Mhm.
this is where, mm, I mean, what you did right here, what you do in all of your teachings is an activation in itself. But working with you one-on-one, what is different there? You said that you can see certain things. The masters are working with you to see what technician you need to be to assist in someone's upgrade in their grid.
Yeah, it seems to be it's almost like a little video show for some people that have reoccurring programs that are running in the body where they can't get rid of an illness that keeps coming on. Maybe it's something like laryngitis or a rash or something like that, that they will immediately take me on a little journey of, the timeline that it took place. Maybe it was 200 years ago and I'll see where it initiated that wound or that um, poisoning or foul food or something like that. And then they change everything in that timeline to this lifetime. It affects the cellular network in the memory of the cellular body is shifted and transformed as if it never ever happened. And so that now the body doesn't have that phantom pain, because it is a phantom pain because it's not real. They didn't break their arm in this lifetime. It's just it's another timeline. And so that's a small example. If there is a fear of, going into an elevator, fear of being in a very large, crowded area, they will go into that cellular memory. Maybe it's at the heart, maybe it's at the inner mind. So they'll tell me from the inner mind, this is what the child witnessed at the age of 14. And so I'll go into the age of 14 asking the person, what happened to you at the age of 14? Were you at a concert or were you somewhere where something was pushing and got carried away? Because it happened to you, the original occurrence, the first cellular memory, which has come over all the relivings, took place, 3,000, 2,000 years ago. And I go back into that grid system, and the master shows me what happened in a war or something. So it's more than just um, clearing the wound itself here, because for me, I have to go to the original, right where it started. I have to track and map all the way back to the very first time it happened, even if it happened 5 lifetimes of that same falling down a hill, falling off a wagon, falling off their bike in this lifetime. There's three episodes of falling. I have to go to the first one that will untie these two. Is how the masters have shown me what they do. And then that it's never going to happen again. You just won't have that fear. You just won't have that bully frequency around you where someone always wants to create an argument with you or push you around or take advantage of you. That you just will not have that bully frequency in your aura field. So these are kind of the different things that occurs. So it's not just that I'm doing a healing on a timeline. It's not just that I'm doing a healing on the the bones of the body or sugar diabetes or something. I'm doing, like what you asked me at the beginning, a timeline. So I'm tracking the soul ancestor lineages, and I'm tracking the wounded selves and the hidden selves that are harboring that pain in the cellular memory. Mhm.
Wow. Okay, that's some very deep work. That's soul level work.
That's right. That's
That
right.
is a correction, an upgrade. And so
Because we
it,
have to clear all of the hidden and wounded selves
uh-huh.
that are the ones that are recreating the soul memory in this lifetime. So, in order for you to move into a crystallite body and not have the density of these wounded cells, I have to track back and get like the whole thread, like
Mm,
all of them. There could be 10 timelines or
right.
5 episodes of, being bullied. They all I have to get the very start of it, because when I get the very start of it, it pulls and all the others follow like a domino. So sometimes if somebody will do a healing and they say, oh, the person got rid of my ancestor, my brother-in-law, and it's gone. He's gone. Yeah, but you know what? A month from now, another one's coming because you didn't clear all of the thread of the equation of that's going to create another episode.
Mm, 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 mm. So we know that most people who sign up for sessions have an idea of what they want to work on. But
Yes.
it seems like this is for everybody because like, some people could say, oh, I'm fine, I'm good, I'm okay.
No.
We all have many, many, many lifetimes on this planet. And I think a lot of the deep, deep work is many of us can trace it all the way back to Atlantis, to Lemuria, to even off planet. And
Yeah.
so you can see that, right? So would we like there's something, I'm not going to go into my story, but there's something that I can sense in this lifetime with authority that actually goes back to a responsibility that I had or felt I had that I failed on in Lemuria. And so that's really interesting. So is that if so when someone signs up for a session with you, would they bring an issue like that? Or they might not even need to know. You could just have a quick little conversation with them
Yeah.
and pinpoint what's needing to be worked on, right?
Yeah.
That's how complete.
It, it can be as simple as somebody says this to me. Well, I don't really know what I'm going to be doing. I don't really know what my journey is, but
Okay.
I'm thinking I want to write a book. So
Mhm.
it's just a simple little statement. I'm thinking I want to write a book. And then I'll just go into the quietness, and then my guides will retrieve their soul journey of who they are, what they are. And all of a sudden I'm seeing this person was a builder of form, and or they were a prophetic visionary, and they were carrying scrolls that they wrote and kept tucked away at that time. And so they were already, somebody like that. So now in this lifetime, they're scared to start writing because they had to hide their scrolls. And so I have to unveil that person in that timeline of who they were that was carrying scrolls, that it was okay to go ahead and expose them. So that in this lifetime, the cellular memory, the person who says, you know what? I started writing the very next day after I had my session with you. And so it's not always a negative hit, removing a wounded self. It could be that I say, okay, if you were an engineer and you were part of orchestrating the building of these Zeus's temples, which is a very high position to be in, to be the engineer and orchestrator of hundreds of people, or in Egypt, then yes, in this lifetime, you are orchestrating this network of the quantum healing groups, because you have this architectural mindset that you can gather many people to create an outcome of this beautiful temple for Zeus. But you're working in harmonics with all these people and making sure everybody's in their right quadrant. So then when I'm going into that timeline, say for you, for say, if I'm going back into that timeline, because I see you in Greece in this timeline, and I see you there operating in orchestrating, a big event, then it's easy to see you yourself will resonate with that and feel the robe on you and know that, yes, I like doing events. I like orchestrating that. Then that timeline, that soul being moves ahead. And now it's like, I'm not, yeah, I know what I have to do today. It's just because I'm activating the soul cellular memory.
Yes.
So when we step, as they would say, oh, step back in time and recall who you were, well, people go, well, I don't know how to have a prophetic vision. Well, you don't have to, because I'm going to reactivate the crystal seeds of the crystal codes of that grid system there that transmits the frequency into your crystal consciousness here. And right away, everything starts weaving together. And it's like all the wires meet, and however you want to say it, and you're electrified to start writing or start orchestrating a whole new way of doing things, because you're being given the consciousness in your sleep state that night from that timeline, from that soul. the reliving comes through in your consciousness. And I would say, in my mind, I say, I'd like to see what you would have for me. That's all I say when I go to sleep. I just would like to see what you would have for me. I don't remember my dreams. I don't have elaborate journeys, but I get a seer mind that I write the next day. This is what I'm supposed to do. This is where you want me to, this is how many people you want me to meet with. Same idea. So I never know what's going to trigger or open up when I have the session with the person, because it could be one simple sentence like, I'm thinking of writing a book, and next thing you know, I see 7 lifetimes of them being a seer or prophet, running with Mary Magdalene somewhere, hiding their notes. Like it's fun.
Oh, oh, yes. I love how you say it's fun. This
Yeah.
gets exciting. No wonder it's exciting because we're
Like a little
really
video.
we're coming home to our soul-like consciousness. We really are. And so, wow, we can all benefit from sessions with you. I hope that you have an open calendar. Um, how many? So it sounds like one session is tremendous. Just one session would do so much work. But I can see people might want a couple sessions with you, right? Because
Yeah.
it can go so many different directions. We have a wealth of lives that we've lived. What do you
Well,
think about that?
well, if there's a healing that's needed, I can't do it all in one session. So sometimes there's two or three because there's um, some very heavy duty healing that needs to take place, or abuse or something like that, that I have to clear up the timelines before I get to the soul child here. So that's clearing that. And other ones where there's awakening, I'm taking one part of a healing session, and halfway through the healing session, there's a huge awakening within the person because they resonate with the timeline that they were a seer or a prophetic person, or they walked a certain path in a certain country, and they recall it while we're in session. So the next session takes them into that expanded state so that they can step into the reality of that reliving. So it's, some people will say, well, I need another one. And the next 5 weeks, they get another top up, or there's a gift that I'm activating their healing hands. I'm activating their third eye so that they can see. I'm activating the light languages to speak through them. So it's, oh, I want to elaborate on that gift. Can we come back and show me how to work with my third eye, or show me, what do I do with my healing hands? What will my journey be with healing hands now that you've activated my healing hands? So I never know which directions it's going, except that the masters that work through me are infinite intelligences beyond, and they pour through me and transmit energies through my hands and do the activations, activate hidden gifts, not just wounded energies, but they do activate the hidden gifts, and then they'll teach them how to work with the gifts. So it's extensive sometimes for some people.
Oh, wow. Again, that it covers the whole gamut
It
of
does. It
of
does.
light workers who are watching this program. All right, I myself can sense tremendous benefit from a session. I'm going to sign up. I encourage other people to sign up. Get your time with Nora, Walks in Spirit, activate those hidden gifts, clean up
Yes.
some timelines. Wow, I mean, we all can sense, and we all have an inkling of what needs to be worked on. But Nora, it sounds like the masters that work with you have such this laser-like ability to target what it is. They show you the specifics of it. That's really very cool.
Yeah,
And
they and
we
they have.
become great beacons of light, powerful crystal light beings.
Hmm. Yeah, it's a fascinating journey to see people transform and to see the shift in the consciousness even in that hour is very, very exciting because I just know that I know the person was awakened to a different level altogether and that they're ready to go on to the next level of whatever it is through this awakening. And everybody's already waking up, even light workers and other teachers are waking up, but they still want to know where's the next turn in the road? Where do I go now? What
Right.
happened to me? What did I do after I built that temple? Like, then what happened? Right? All of that comes through.
Yes. Well, thank you so much. Again, the people that you work with, you're actually, I want to call you a mentor's mentor or a teacher's teacher, facilitator, an expansion expander, because you are working, you work with everyone, but
That's right.
there's something about this work that actually puts one firmly on the ascension path firmly. And that, again, I'll say that word again, it's exquisite. And so we can all benefit from this. So right now, I just want to take that precious moment and tell our audience to scroll down on this webpage to check out a personal session with you. Purchase one, purchase two, purchase others. It will be here for a while. As long as it's available, you can access that. And what is your calendar like? Do you have space for people at this time, especially since we're near the solstice right now and moving through the energies of this summer and winter in the Southern Hemisphere?
Yeah, yeah. There's few days during the week on each of the weeks. I think there's two or three spots on each week right
Great.
now. So I usually go in the morning to do about 4 or 5 a day right away.
Wow.
Yeah, I love it. I just love it. It's first thing in the morning that I would have people calling me from Singapore and Tokyo, and those sessions start at 6 a.m., 7 a.m. So it's really a beautiful journey for me because I wake up and I'm in the ethers. I'm already walking with the masters in the higher grid system, so it just advances the energies for the other people that are having sessions during the day because I've been in the ethers already so early, and they get stronger as the day goes on, always.
Wow. Well, just this session alone, this time with you today has activated us and raised us up, amplified our own grid. We have a grid around us now that is significantly vibrant,
Yes. Yeah.
resonant. We're walking in the harmonics of this beautiful ocean of etherics, of plasma light. I love it. Thank you for that. Wow.
Yeah. Well,
Your work is incredible. Every time we are with you, we get comments from folks that just say, "Wow, Nora takes me to the highest level of all." And that is so wonderful.
yeah.
Thank you so much for this.
All right. Well, we'll see you in the ethers is what I usually say to people because I'm working in the higher soul essence of where you're going and where your soul is tapping into you, speaking to your journey ahead. And it's just the reality of the vision of having this essence. Like I think people have been so caught up on what's inside and what
Mm.
they're hearing and what they're visioning from what they're hearing inside. But if they start taking a vision of this beautiful crystalline, like a web, like a spider web, but it's like crystalline spectrums of light crystals, and that's what your aura is. If you just have that vision that this is the luminous body that is really here. You just haven't tapped into it. But
Oh,
if you think on my luminous body irradiating light and spectrums of intelligences onto the kingdoms, onto the elements, onto others, then it's going to start dissipating these heavier thought forms and confusions of others and confusion on the planet. It kind of like the people back on the beach when you're under the water. You're not so in tune to the news anymore because you're just in this bubble of these frequencies of this essence. This how I think on things every day. And it's not like I have my head in the clouds. I have my head in the ethers of reality because it's here. It is here. Yeah.
and it feels so good. It's real and it's magnificent.
It is.
Wow.
And
Wow.
and so I look forward to meeting everyone and anyone at this point for the session or for the next gathering. Yeah.
Yes. Wonderful. And you do wonderful gatherings as well. And more information will come out on that. People can check your website as well and work with you. And I will be inviting you for some other things. I took some notes. We'll talk about it offline because there's
Thank
things that you can do on a group level that I sense many would love to be a part of,
you.
because there's lots that you can do working with a group, not just individual. So thank you for this, Nora. It really is comforting to know that when we say everything is an inside job, well, the inside job is to get that established. And
Mhm.
actually, right now, and I hope everyone who's watching and listening can feel that there literally is no reason to worry right now. Like any element of worry or frustration or confusion is absolutely diminished,
Yeah,
dissolved, it's gone. I hope everyone can feel that.
it's old
That's where
news.
you've taken us.
Yeah, yeah. We just changed the channel.
Change the channel. Yes, change the channel. You've given us a real idea of how we change that channel in this minute. And we
Yeah,
can feel it in our bodies. We can absolutely feel it.
yeah. That's my whole essence when I'm with people is I'm emanating this essence that's changing their aura, that's changing the essence of their mindsets to be out of that channel of confusion and what's inside of what their worries are to this channeling of everything that's channeling down onto them that's waiting for them to, hey, I'm right here beside you.
Mm.
Start channeling these energies here into you. Yeah.
And sharing them with our beautiful planet. Wow, that's why we all came. Mm. An extraordinary teacher and guide that you are. Thank you, Nora Walks in Spirit. So as we say goodbye, I hate to say that, but our time is up. So I want to just give you a moment for anything else that might come through in this instance.
Alrighty then. We ichuchu kurabarina. The light is much brighter on all consciousness living and awakening. And the shimmering essences of your own crystals is elevating those karmic wheels to be of wheels of infinite realities. You are all soaring into the highest virtues and abilities throughout this year. And your quantified fields of which we are inhabiting are here to assist you. We welcome you into your own etheric grid systems in the realms And we also usher you into your aura fields to play with us in the stillness when you are ready. Bye for now. And you'll feel the stillness now of their higher quotients of light. As they're leaving their imprints on top of your head, on the back of your head, on your third eye crystals, and on the crystals of your heart. You will feel tingling on your arms and hands, and you will get warm of the golden energies that they're wrapping around you to leave their imprint, that they offer you to sit with them once again with this frequency. So thank you for having me here today and feeling that, and feeling what I work with every day is just so powerful, isn't it?
Yes, you've changed all of us in this instant. And again, I'm feeling my whole crown and the back of my head just vibrating. Wow.
As they're activating all the crystals in through the whole, there's 33 portals in the head that they're activating all those crystals.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Nora, and the masters who are connected with you and connected through all of us as well. What an exquisite episode. I hope
Yeah.
that everyone watching and listening can feel this. If you're checking this out on YouTube, leave a comment and let us know how you received this.
Mhm.
Happy journey, everyone. Happy integrating all of this. Book a time with Nora in a personal session. It will be so expansive. If you felt that today, just imagine what that one-on-one will be like. Thank you, Nora, and thank you, everyone, for being here.
Thank you so much for
Namaste.
having me, and blessings to everyone for the solstice coming soon.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to this quantum conversation, and thank you for dancing with us to the cosmic heart. As we raise our own vibration, we raise the vibration of the planet. This show is dedicated to you and all awakening hearts, as we are here to shine our bright light and amplify our love. I'm Loren Gailey, and from my sacred heart to yours, I honor your magnificent love and light. We leave you now with music from the universe. Music literally created by the universe, as musical notes were assigned to mathematical equations. The result is this beautiful music, available at acoustichealth.com. Namaste.